G'day guys and welcome to the Bradley J Driver Experience. You're here for episode 33. And if you're tuning in, I want to say thank you very much. Today's guest is a very inspiring human being. This is a story that it's going to be a tearjerker. It's going to get the emotions going, but it's a story that deserves to be told because in life we all fight battles, but this man is fighting a battle that most of us will never understand or never have to go through. Today's guest is Kula. He's in the fight of his life after being diagnosed with sonic hedgehog medulloblastoma, which is an aggressive form of brain cancer. This diagnosis come just very quickly after his start of pre-season for the Cronulla Sharks. And at such a young age, it's a heartbreaking story, and he's here to share today. So I want to say thank you so much, Finne. How are you, brother?
Yeah, good, man. Thank you. Thank you for having me on the show.
Mate, it's my pleasure. It was brought to my attention when I watched the Channel 9 interview about your story, and man, I sat there today and I watched it as well, and I just wanted to recap and man, like honestly, so emotional. I'm the kind of guy that cries on a dog movie. But bro, like it's a personal story, doesn't get me emotional much, but to listen to your story, it really hit me hard because, you know, to see a young guy who is finally realizing the dreams that you had as a kid and to have that taken away from you and have a new fight in front of you, fight greater than you'd ever find on the footy field. It's pretty hard stuff.
Yeah, man. No, thank you, though.
No, not a problem at all, brother. Do you mind setting the scene for us? Talk to us about your childhood and where it all began.
So I was born and raised in South Auckland, New Zealand.
Yep.
Until I was, I think, 13. That's when I moved here. Moved there to Australia to, pursue my dream.
And into New South Wales?
Yeah, into New South Wales, Sydney. So played footy in New Zealand, like under 12s, under 13s, and got scouted from one of the Cronulla Sharks scout officers.
Yeah.
I was playing footy there, and
Bro, that's early, hey, like 12, 13.
Yeah. So they told me if I wanted to come over to Sydney and trial for the Harold Matthews.
Yeah.
So that was the under 16s, and I came, had a trial, but it was just a trial. Didn't think any of it, and like went back to New Zealand. And got the call and said that that they want me to come back over.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So,
as a young kid, how exciting is that, right?
I was real excited. Moving to a different country, I thought I'd be in New Zealand for the rest of my life, but moving to another country and like starting different school, and I thought it was like a good opportunity for me and my family, and especially like thanks to Cronulla for paying for my school fees, and that's one less weight that came off my parents' shoulders.
Yeah.
But it was just exciting.
You look like you're pretty tight with your family, hey? You look like you got a close.
Yeah, no, man, family means everything to me, man. Without them, I wouldn't even be here. Like, especially my like, I'm not just saying like my brother, sister, mom, and dad. I'm talking about like my uncles, aunties, and that. Like, they always been the biggest support for me, and like number one support too. So, yeah.
You know what made me really connect with you and your story, man, is I'm super close with my family too. And man, on a much lesser scale to you, as a kid, I lived for footy, man. I loved footy.
Yeah.
I was, when you're little and you've got like some talent, you can get around the footy fields, collect a couple tries, and collect a couple man of the matches. And I was sort of a good little footy player as a kid. But I've got liver disease and cystic fibrosis. So liver disease took footy away from me. And man, that broke my bloody heart. But that was at a young age, you know what I mean? So I wasn't at the stage that you were when you found out the news. But so you progressed through the Sharks ranks at this point throughout your late teens. And what age was it where you got the call to come and start training with the NRL boys?
So I think it was 19.
Yeah.
So I just finished SG Ball, so that's under 18s, and then the following year I got called up to come train preseason with NRL.
That's awesome. And that's,
Yeah,
that was alongside one of your friends, like friends from a young
yeah,
age was playing alongside you as well. Hey, Ronaldo.
yeah, Ronaldo. Yeah, so yeah, I grew up with Ronaldo in New Zealand, and like it was it was really strange meeting him here in Australia too, because I didn't know that at the time he moved to Ipswich in Queensland.
Okay.
Yeah, so the thing is, Cronulla has, I think Cronulla has like a I don't know what it's called, but I think
Like an
it's like a
affiliation.
partnership with
Yep.
it's a partnership with Ipswich High School or something,
Ah, okay.
and
Yep.
that's the school that Ronaldo went to, and they do a camp every year which has the Queensland players come down to New South Wales,
Yep.
and that's when I saw Ronaldo, and I was like, oh, what the hell? Like, so I was like, wow, what are you doing
Bit of
again? Oh
nostalgia.
no,
Hey.
yeah, it was like, oh, I didn't even like know you're in Australia, and like yeah, just carried on from there.
That's awesome. And so you were, so you've obviously made it into that training squad and you're training with the boys and it's headed
Yeah.
into preseason. Are we talking preseason 2020 that this all happened or
Um.
2019?
So yeah, 2020, like with the whole cancer thing, or
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so 2020, yeah, the this year's preseason.
So talk
So
to me.
yeah,
I heard you said you had some symptoms, but only for a short period of time heading into the diagnosis.
yeah. So our last training session before Christmas break, I started to notice I was getting headaches.
Yeah.
Like I said on an interview, like I'm the type of person that it's a headache, I'll just take some Panadol or Nurofen,
Yeah.
and I'll be all good. And like I just started to notice that like it was happening every day, and like my girlfriend, she's the type that's like, oh, like just go doctors, let's go doctors and that. And I was like, oh, I hate going doctors.
Yeah.
So I
I'm
was
the
like,
same,
oh
bro.
yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. I went doctors, and then like I was just telling them like what was going on, and they were like, oh, okay, then maybe go hospital and like see what's to go at the hospital. So I was like, okay. When my missus took me to hospital, went there, and then I told them the symptoms and that like I've been getting headaches and like migraines and that, and they said, oh, we'll put you on the drip, see how you feel, and like if you feel alright, maybe we could just send you home, and it's probably just bad migraine. So I thought, okay, then they put me on the drip. I was feeling alright. They gave me some medication and that, and then sent me home. And I was still getting the headaches after it, but it was leading up to my birthday.
Yeah.
So yeah, after my 21st birthday, the next day was the day one of preseason, like back again.
Yeah.
So the day one I went into, and I wanted to get a second opinion. So I asked the team doctor, our team doctor, and he was like, how do you feel when the lights are shut off? And then I go, oh yeah, I feel better. Like, I feel like I have no headache and stuff. So he was like, oh okay, this doesn't sound right. So I'll let you go. I'll let you go from training and just go back to Liverpool Hospital and ask if you could get like an MRI scan or something like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's when it just kind of just went there.
Yeah. So how
So,
many days after that MRI do you sit down with the doctor and actually go over that
so
scan?
like yeah, so I think it was 2 days after, and yeah, it was just had my family. So my family and dad came down, and like they thought nothing of it. They just didn't think that it was like yeah, they thought there wasn't going to be anything big. But yeah, when the doctor said his diagnosis and what he thinks it is, yeah, it's just kind of just took us all like by surprise. Yeah,
I can imagine, brother. I can imagine. I can't. And the thing is, it's so hard to be there with your family because I've been in those moments too. And when everyone
yeah,
realizes the weight of the situation and what this actually means, is it hard to comprehend that and understand the severity of this at first, or is it I guess pretty common knowledge from the doctor's standpoint of what this is and what this is going to mean for the next few years?
yeah, yeah. It's just like when you first said it at the start, I was kind of like, oh man, like just means like probably be in hospital more times than usual. But
Yeah.
it was a bit shocking for me. Like I had no emotions at the time. Probably wasn't until after when I was going through like everything, like my body and that was changing and stuff, and I was just tearing up in bed, hospital bed, and that like, oh, why does that have to be me and stuff? But
Yeah.
you know, yeah, but yeah, people just the support and that from everyone like made it much easier for me.
That's
But yeah, like yeah, just at the start, just yeah, I had no emotions at all. Like my family and that were crying on my bedside, like my girlfriend was crying too, and like just like I was just sitting there, just like telling them, oh, it's all right, like it's all right, we can get through this, it's all right. But yeah, it's just it was just hard for everyone at the time.
and you feel like you've got to be the strong one, right? Because you're the one that's
Yeah,
fighting this. You feel like you've got to be strong for your family, and that's,
yeah,
man, that's so incredibly difficult to do when the weight of everything is on your shoulders too. And one thing
yeah,
I'll say is, man, when I announced that you were coming on the podcast, the amount of support you have, I had
yeah,
people coming through left, right, and center that were stoked to hear that you were going to share your story, because they can see the type of human being you are, and they're
yeah,
excited for you to have this platform to share. And Matt, I think that's firstly signs of a really good human. And
yeah,
I like to think that someone like yourself who has an amazing support network, it's because you're a good bloke and people want
yeah,
to get behind you. But it's also because of the weight that this story holds. And so talk to me about, obviously you see those scans and you start to realize what this is, and they explain to you that it's brain cancer. But
yeah.
when do you sort of find out? There's obviously that stage where you're trying to figure out whether it's malignant or benign, like whether it's going to be aggressive or not.
Yeah.
And how do you find that out?
Well, at the time I didn't really know, but then they said that it was going to be really aggressive and that, and they had to put me straight away into radiation.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I at the time I thought I can get through this, like I'm strong in that, but going through radiation and that like really broke me down.
Yeah.
Like yeah, because they're doing radiation behind my head and behind my neck, so where my throat is.
Yeah.
And during radiation, doing it behind my throat, it kind of took my ability to speak properly.
Okay.
So I was going through a phase where just I couldn't talk to my parents or couldn't talk to anyone, and I couldn't swallow food and that, and I lost a lot of weight, and like it was just hard like going through all of that, like while my body and that's not used to,
Yeah.
like yeah, just going through all this like um just this pain and that I've never felt before, and just like trying to get through it every day. And like it was hard, and my parents and that trying to force me to eat, and I'm just pushing the food away. I can't eat, and that it was just too sore. And that like doctors in there said that I need to stop losing weight, like it's unhealthy, and that I need to eat. I was just trying my best to like swallow food, and I couldn't. And like yeah, just spitting it out and stuff, and just going through that like radiation, and that just kind of just yeah, just put me in like a different perspective of like, oh, what I got to go through,
And
like yeah, and how hard it's gonna be.
you're basically thrust straight into that radiation too, aren't you? Like it's happening
Yeah,
within a matter of days of diagnosis. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the hard
yeah,
thing. You don't even have time to mentally prepare for it, like, you know what I
yeah,
mean, like you would with a surgery or something like,
mm,
another body related injury. But so obviously you're going through all of this, and it probably dawns on you pretty quickly that this means the end of your footy season, if not at
yeah,
least a couple seasons. And how hard is that after just realizing your dream in these past few years to have footy taken away from you?
yeah. Like the dream was to play footy, like 100% for me, and like it was more like trying to be stable enough to support my family, because that's part of the dream of being a footy player, is you
Yeah.
want to be able to support your family and that, and just like for me, just just when the doctor and that said that, because I was still getting the headaches, so they said that they're gonna put a shunt from my brain to my stomach, which is gonna help me with my headaches. But
Yeah.
they're saying that if we put this in you, we're gonna that kind of means that you're not allowed to play any contact sports, or you know the footy dream might be like,
Yeah.
yeah, like out of reach in there. And I was like, at the time, I was real sad about it. Like, like 7 years of dedicating myself to footy, like with everything, and then like just hearing that that's kind of it. Like that's it's gonna be over. Kind of heartbreaking. But then on the other hand, I was just thinking about I need to get better for my family and for myself. And
Of
like
course.
it just made it easier.
That's the thing, isn't it? Footy's big, but family's bigger, and that's the
Yeah,
thing that I guess I realized at an early stage in my life too. The risk wasn't worth, not being able to spend time with my family, or rupturing my liver, or
yeah,
not getting the time with them, because that's the real stuff that matters in life. And I guess the hard thing is, brother, this is the sort of journey now that you have to face, and you have to do it at such a young age. Bro, I feel
yeah,
young and I'm 24. Like, you're 21, brother.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It
yeah,
takes so much resilience and grit to be able to face what you face every day. And firstly, I want to say, mate, I have so much respect for you. It's not even funny, because, growing up with my condition, I've been around a lot of other people who are sick too. And man, I had a couple friends that I met when I was younger in hospital with,
yeah,
going through different stages of cancer and different forms of cancer. And the one thing that always inspires me so much is that you can continue to get up with a smile on your face every day and just be a good human. And I think that takes so much positivity, and it takes such great character. So,
yeah.
I congratulate you on that, man.
No, thank you, thank you.
So talk to me about, once radio finishes and chemo starts, is that a big transition? Is it quite a similar feeling, or is it quite different?
Yeah. So but this time I kind of prepared for it. What the doctors and that were saying, they're saying that the first session of chemo is gonna be the hardest for you. And I was just preparing myself for it. So I was like, okay, yeah, the first session is gonna be hard. So yeah, I went through the first session, and they're absolutely right. It was hard. Like, man, my body and that was just, I was like having like, just fevers, and I was sick all week.
Yeah.
Couldn't walk, and I couldn't stand up properly, and just like, man, just yeah, going through the first chemo cycle was hard. But then after the first one, like second one, and that, like, just feels like not as worse as the first one. So
Yeah. And
yeah.
how long does a cycle last? Is it 2 weeks you said, or a month?
So yeah, so it's 3 days, and then you have the weekend off. So my chemo cycle is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Then I have the long weekend off, and then I come back on a Tuesday, and that's
Okay.
my last year. And
And
you, it's,
you're just sitting there for a couple of hours, aren't you?
yeah, so you're just sitting there for um 4 hours. So you
Yeah.
just sit there and 4 hours and that, and just yeah, just wait for like the chemo and that to like kick in and stuff.
It would
And yeah,
probably be a bit different at the moment because of COVID, right? Where I guess, especially when you're on chemotherapy, your immune system's quite
yeah,
low and not as strong as it should be. So I guess you wouldn't be around other patients as much. You'd be distanced out quite a bit, yeah,
yeah.
which
It's
makes it
yeah,
hard too.
be distance. Yeah.
So have you had the ability to? Has there been anyone that you've been able to look to for advice who's been through similar situations as you, and you've been able to pull on that strength and their advice?
Yeah, just a few people, like especially the nurses in there, like when they come around and talk to you, and just asking them what they've seen in the chemo ward. And like they're just saying, it's hard, but like the nurses in there are always helpful, and especially when you're talking to someone during chemo and that, it just flies by. Like,
Yeah.
you don't even think about it. And yeah, one of my mates, I didn't know this, but his one of my mates' like friends from school was doing chemo at the same time as me,
Oh
and
wow.
we're the same age. Yeah. So I saw him one time at chemo, and I just sat a few like spaces away from him, but me and him were talking about like everything, like just the things that they were going through, and like things that like we can eat and can't eat and stuff,
Yeah.
like just yeah, things going on with family and that. So yeah, it was like it was good knowing that like I had someone they're the same age going through the same thing, like going through chemo and that. Like
That's
it was comforting in that.
that's like anything in life, right? To have someone that you can draw on similar experiences with, and someone that understands what you're going through, is
Yeah,
always it's always a nice weight off your shoulders that you feel like you can share with them, and they're going to understand and have empathy.
yeah, yeah,
I'm glad you have that, man. And so obviously you've just finished round 2 of chemo, and like you said, you
yeah,
had a little bit of a bout of sickness at the end of last week, but
yeah.
feeling better now.
Yeah, now feeling much better now. It's good to be back home, recover here at home. So yeah,
So you're based in Sydney still?
yeah, Sydney, yeah,
Yeah,
based
that's
Sydney.
awesome. And what's the future look like with treatment coming up?
Probably the same thing. The doctors in that always say that when you go through chemo, there's a likely chance you're gonna get sick again. So like it like doesn't really bother me anymore at the moment. So like just trying to get through everything day by day. Try and do as much as I can too. Me and my missus and I just take our dog out for a walk and that when we can. Yeah, just stuff like
What type
that.
of dog do you have?
I have a Ridgeback Staffy.
Yeah,
So
nice.
yeah, it's a girl. She turns 1 this month.
Oh, pup, young one.
Yes, it's a
I don't
little
know if you
one.
can see, man. I got my little dog just lying on the lounge there having a snooze. I don't know if you can see him.
Yeah,
Hunter, little Jack
yeah,
Russell, but they're the best, aren't they? Man, and it's
yeah,
like they understand when you're not well.
yeah. So yeah, when I got my dog, I was just starting preseason and I was well and I was taking her out for walks every day and stuff when I had no training. And that 2 months that I was away from home and I was in hospital, um, I think she knew that I was sick.
Yeah,
Because when I
they
came
do,
back,
man.
she was so excited to see me and that she was jumping around and stuff. Like she hasn't seen me in like a year or not.
They've got a sixth sense, man. They
Yeah,
just they
yeah,
just know when you're not right. Hey,
yeah,
one thing that I find really curious, and a conversation I've had with a lot of people is when you fight something like you are, or when you have some sort of illness or some sort of hurdle to overcome in life, I feel like it changes your mentality and it changes who you are as a person a little bit. And I don't mean in the simplest of ways. I mean in the way that you look at life and your maturity at your age. And
yeah,
a lot of people ask me at 24 years old, how I have the maturity I do and why I look at life the way that I do. And I guess it comes down to understanding how lucky we are and how precious time is.
yeah,
How has the diagnosis of this in the last couple of months changed your perspective on life and how important it is to enjoy yourself?
yeah. I said it on the interview with Channel 9, so my little nephews and nieces, like
Yeah.
that changed everything. When I got diagnosed with cancer, just looking at my nephew and nieces and they see me in hospital and that it was hard because I grew up with my younger teen years looking after them when they were little babies.
Yeah.
And it was just just seeing them, come into the hospital room and go, "Oh, hi, uncle. I hope you're feeling well." Like, kind of just changed my perspective that I wanted to fight and get better and like it matured me like a bit. Because man, I'm just like every other 20-year-old, go out, drinking with the boys and that,
Yeah.
like like just having fun and stuff, and like just with all of this going on, that just kind of I need to get better and like be there for my for my family and for everyone, especially my girlfriend, and that she's been a real helpful for everything, like with changing everything too. I've been with her for 6 years and like from when we first dated till now, she's just been like the rock for me and like everything. When my parents can't do it, she does it and she just helps me along and
Man, she
that. So
seems
yeah.
like an amazing human.
No, she is. She definitely is. Like without her by my side, I don't think I would get through my radiation and chemo. You know,
Yeah.
like she kind of pushes me, saying, oh, eat up and that. Come on, you need to build strength. You need to do all this. You need to be healthy and that. So yeah, she just helps me a lot.
How we said it just before we touched on it, but how important is that support network of people around you? I know I say it all the time, man. I'm blessed to have. I think I've got the most amazing family and mates in the world. that just support me through all my little health obstacles and hurdles. And, you know, the couple of times that I've been in hospital the last few years, to, you know what I mean, to sit up every night and eat my dinner and have, you know,
yeah,
family and friends surrounding me is the biggest blessing. And I heard the story on that Channel 9 interview where you and your partner were talking about 5 of the boys actually sleeping on the floor in the
yeah,
waiting room at hospital to come and see you after a surgery.
yeah.
And man, what good mates, hey?
Nah, yeah. The support by everyone is just like amazing. Like even people that I don't even know, like getting messages and that on Instagram and Facebook and that from just people that see my story and that and saying that they're with me 100% all the way, like just makes me happy. Like that people the that backing me up and that and like all my friends, family, like they're always there every step of the way, always checking up on me, and then I'm just grateful for everyone's support. Like yeah,
100%, man. 100%. So how does this, obviously at the moment you're in a position where I guess a lot of your focus and your full focus goes towards just getting better again. But what do you do to keep yourself occupied now in your free time? I know you said you enjoy walks with a dog, and is there anything
yeah.
else you're turning your time to? Any new passions?
Not really. Just like, cause like being in hospital there a lot like takes a real toll on me. So every time the doctors in there say that if you can rest in there, like rest. So
Yeah.
like it's either me resting or my girlfriend that comes over and we take the dog out for a walk, or I have family like just my little nephews and that because they just live down the road from me. So they come up and just spend some time playing around in that while I watch them. Like that that's about it.
How old are they, brother? The nephews and nieces?
So the oldest is her name's Olivia, so she's 6, almost turning 7, and then the middle child is his name is Solomon. He's 5, and then the youngest one is named David, and he's 2.
Yeah, nice. The good
Yeah,
ages. Good ages.
yeah,
And are they all from one sibling or multiple
yeah.
siblings?
Nah, they're just for my brother. So my brother's got kids.
And is it just you
So
and your
yeah.
brother?
No, so I got an older sister. She's living in Brisbane at the moment.
Okay. And how
Yeah.
important are they to you? Like, obviously family
Oh
is super important, but you're
yeah.
pretty close with them?
Nah, my siblings they do everything for me. Um, like even before I was sick and that they did everything for me. They're always there supporting that, always telling me, the right from wrong. If I did something wrong, I would get the slap behind the head.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, just my siblings and that they're basically because there's a big age gap between me, my brother, my sister.
Yeah.
So like they're basically parents for me growing up too. So
Okay.
like yeah, they did like everything, and I'm grateful for them. Like
So
had
did they move
like
over with you guys to Australia?
no, so my brother moved over here first. He came here to play rugby league first. So yeah, he came and I think he played for Parramatta on the 20s. But
Okay.
that's the furthest he kind of went and played for Mounties and that like just yeah grades
Yeah.
and that. And yeah, then my sister moved over when I moved over. So
Okay.
yeah,
Wait, what position did your brother play?
he was the same as me, front row.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So heaps of comparisons, I can imagine.
yeah.
And he that
I'll
little
probably say that he was. Yeah, I'll probably say that he was probably a better player than me. Yeah.
that's just you being humble, but brother, you seem like a humble guy. So talk to me about the good times, and obviously you're still connected with the boys, and I can imagine that you rock up the training when you can and stay connected with that group. What are some of the great memories of footy and your time with the Cronulla Sharks?
Oh, um, man, there's been a lot, but probably just the two championships that I was part of with Cronulla Sharks juniors coming up. So we won the Harold Matthews, so that was the under 16s, and then we won the under 20s.
Oh, awesome.
So yeah, the JTFA. So that was probably like the highlight. Um, just winning the competition, especially for Cronulla, and that. Um, that was probably the highlights of making friends along the way that I'm still friends with now. Like one of my mates in that I still talk to now. His name is Lockie Smith, but I don't know if you heard the story. So Lockie in that had a stroke on one of our games. So
Oh,
yeah, he had a stroke on one of our games in that when we were playing for representative, and he's recovered now, fully recovered.
yeah,
Everything he's going to the gym and that. I've seen Snapchats of him and stuff, and like he's well right now too, which like bless him and that, like everything that's going on with his life. But yeah, just like meeting friends in that, and just like friends in that I'm like that I know that we'll be friends for a lifetime.
yeah, of course. That and
Yeah,
that's the beauty of footy, isn't it? And the one thing I love, man, is especially that. What round was it? The Beanie for Brain Cancer round from the Mark Hughes
I think it was
Foundation.
around four.
Just to
Yeah,
see the way that at the end of the day, it's 16 teams that compete against each other each week. But to see the greater community of football come together in moments like that to support each other and to support those that are going through harder times, it's always really nice to see how well connected that community is. And a really special moment that I seen was your good mate Ronaldo throw your number on his back for that round.
yeah,
How was
yeah.
that to see him run out with that on his back?
Oh yeah, no, it was, man. It was good, man. It was emotional too.
I
Yeah,
can
it's
imagine.
just yeah, it was just like I was happy for him, like getting his shots, wearing the number 10 and that on his back, and I was just, it was just happy for him and his family.
Yeah. How he usually plays on the wing, doesn't he?
Yeah, no, he plays on the wing. So when he put that number 10 on, that was for the nines.
Like,
So
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes
So
more
yeah,
sense. I was going to
yeah, that
say, 'cause
was
I've never seen a number 10 create a good finish on the sideline.
yeah. Nah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's good to see him back in the team and that playing now. So yeah,
Hey, they're starting to go all right, aren't they, the Sharkies? They're starting to get some
yeah, man. Yeah,
a
starting
lot of those boys
starting to get
coming
some
together.
form in that.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting to see Sean Johnson playing really well and back
Yeah,
at his best and those boys coming together. And I hope they have a good season for you, man. So
nah, yeah, nah, they will.
I'm a Chook supporter, bro. So as long as they don't beat the Chooks, I'm happy.
Oh man, very
Talk to me
stupid. But
about what's on the list of things that you want to do as you're getting better here. And the one thing, let me say, let's talk about the stats quickly. The stats are sad. I don't like talking about stats a lot because I have similar, I guess you'd call them depressing stats
yeah,
with my condition, cystic fibrosis, but it's around a 35% survival rate. Is that right?
yeah, yeah,
And bro, I think, I'm going to be honest. I think it comes down to character. It comes down to mindset, and it comes down to that inner strength. And obviously, there's all the other stuff that comes into the equation. But you strike me as
mm,
the type of character that will come out the other end of this and be well again. And man, I honestly hope you can see that you're such a decent human being, and you deserve to come out the other end of this with a great bill of health and many many years ahead of you. And I see similar statistics all the time with my condition,
yeah.
low life expectancies and early death rates. And maybe I'm a little bit more in control of mine, but how do you keep that level of positivity? It's just the family drive, isn't it?
Not just the family drive. It's everyone, man. Like I was saying before, the support. Like me personally, I don't know about the percentages of that about my cancer and that, but like just like from everyone supporting that, the messages that I've had, like you know like it's just from everyone, and but that's pushing me along, and that's making me think, oh, I'm gonna fight through this. Like getting messages in that, even from like kids, like primary school kids in that, like messaging me and that, and my girlfriend, she works at a primary school doing before and before school care and after school care,
Yeah.
and a lot of her kids in that write me letters, and then I stick it up here on my wall.
How good is that?
Yeah, that's one of the like motivations, and that, like just every time I'm feeling like down and sick or something, or like I feel like, oh, I can't get up, and then I just look up, and then I see the letters, and like I have letters in there from my little nieces and nephews and stuff, and like it just pushes me, especially like the messages in that I have on my phone from like random people, like they like pushing me along too, it's like it's probably like my motivation right now, like just seeing all of that, and it's keeping me going.
Don't kids have the best nature, man, and the most caring hearts? I had a
Yeah,
message come through from a couple that I used to work with at my old real estate company. They've got two little kids who actually come through cancer themselves. These two young kids at the age of like, baby through to like 4 years old. Both of them come
mhm,
through cancer. Incredibly strong young kids. And I was in hospital during the week. I had some issues with my lungs, and I got a video from one of the little kids, Eli, and he sent me this
yeah,
video, and it was like from his mum's Instagram, and he was like, "Hey,
yeah.
Brad, I hope you get better. I love you." And I was like,
Yeah,
man, it just motivates you to get up and get moving again, because these kids look up to you.
yeah,
Like
no,
it's a source of strength that they want to see, and it gives them a sense of hope too, that you can fight through these things, and that all for all these scary conditions and issues in life, which we all face at some point, some of us sooner than others.
yeah,
But it takes a level of strength to get through. So talk to me about future goals when you're past all of this, and this is just a distant memory. What do you want out of the next 30, 40 years of life?
yeah. I'm not real quite sure. Like I'm probably like way different like to what people that like they like to think about their future and stuff. But like ever since this happened, I'm just thinking about day by day, like what's
Yeah,
happening next week or yeah. But like I do want to do something like kind of what I was doing before, youth working, like work with the youth and that, like with younger kids or something like that. Oh, I'd
yeah.
love to do something like that. Yeah, and yeah, after probably just like I have all the time in my life, so if I can go back and study and stuff, or you know,
What
yeah,
would you like to study? Is there anything in particular?
um, not quite sure. Like I'm gonna be honest with you, like high school and that, I never liked the never liked school and that growing up. So,
Yeah,
like probably like youth working or something like that. That's what I'm gonna study. Like
yeah.
some of the youth, yeah,
Man, to be honest, there's probably a real position for a guy like yourself to do youth work with young kids who are going through similar to what you're going through now.
yeah,
As someone who can draw on their experiences and bring a level of positivity to their life. I think, any young family would appreciate that, you know, a lot.
yeah, yeah. No, of course.
Now, what we're going to do is we're actually going to put a link in the show description. So if you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcast app, or on YouTube, if you're watching this, we'll have a link in either of those descriptions to your GoFundMe page, which I'll actually get you to link me to the most recent one, because I know there's a more recent one that was set up.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, and we want to make sure that we can support you in every way that we can, brother. I think your story it's so impactful. It's so, whilst most people can only ever imagine what you're going through, because most won't. I guess we all know a family member or a friend who has gone through some form of cancer and been in the fight of their life. Is there a message you have for anyone who's going through similar, or just anyone in general about health and life that you'd like to leave with our listeners?
yeah. I think first of all, I'm really religious, so I'll put God first before anything else. And just if you think that times are tough and then and you're about to break down, always look out for a reaching hand, and there's gonna be someone there that their hands out to come and help you. Like yeah, like that's one thing that I kind of struggled with was asking people for help. Like just like moral support.
Definitely.
And yeah, that that's probably all I have to say.
Mate, you're an absolute inspiration. I'm going to be following you throughout your journey and making sure that I'm there if you ever need anyone to talk to, or for any
No,
support. I really want everyone to understand how impactful this story is. It's not often that someone gets tested as much as you've been tested, Finay, but just appreciate life, appreciate every day, appreciate the health that you have. Health is literally the biggest blessing in the world. If you are healthy, you have the greatest wealth that you can ever acquire. And go out and live life for you. Be happy, take care of yourself, and love the people around you. brother, we're with you every step of the way. If you ever need anything, you are more than welcome to ever reach out. And we hope that we can come back to you in the near future and talk about how you're very well and recovered, because I know that you've got the strength to get through it.
No, thank you.
I
Thank you
appreciate
very
that,
much for
brother.
having me.
Now stay on, brother, because we'll have a chat after this. But for everyone listening, thank you so much for tuning into the Bradley J. Driver experience. A very touching story, and I hope you've enjoyed listening and can show some support. Thank you.